What's up, guys and gals? Welcome back to the Nerd Castle. Today, we're going to be taking a look at something that's not quite a mini... I don't know if this counts as an indie game anymore. Like, it's publicly funded, but, like, I don't know, man. The lines are blurring. The lines are really blurring on what's an indie game and what's not an indie game anymore. Some things you look at them and you're like, it's definitely an indie game. Other things you look at them and you're like, somewhere on the periphery. And some things you're like, there's no way this is an indie game. Pillars of Eternity 2, Deadfire. As opposed with Live Fire, which actually, Deadfire is a lot quieter than Live Fire. Live Fire, lots of gunshots, all that kind of shit. Deadfire, nope, not that problem. Nice and quiet. Let's start the game off, and we will go... We're going in classic mode, man. I can't play in relaxed mode. Gameplay, so we've got Iron Man mode, we've got expert mode. Is that on or off? Honestly, I've played the first Pillars of Eternity. If you've never seen these games before, it's an RPG a la Baldur's Gate, that kind of stuff. No level scaling at all. Level scaling is the devil for RPGs. Never level scale. It's the worst. Start the game. I will never enable level scaling. Ever! I will fight it to my last breath.
Aora, a world where mortals live, die, and are reborn through the turning of the wheel. The cycle of reincarnation watched over by the gods, and made possible through pillars of a mystical substance known as Audra. 5 years ago, you traveled from your home to the Deerwood, a nation that had waged war against the incarnated god of light, Aethys, resulting in his destruction. The country suffered from a plague of hollowborn, infants born without souls, that many believed was punishment for killing a god. In an ancient, secluded ruin, you witnessed a secret ritual that inadvertently transformed you into a watcher, one who can see and speak with souls. The ritual also gave you horrible visions, waking nightmares of a past life that threatened your sanity. To put them to rest, you pursued the man who had led the ritual, a seemingly immortal agent of the gods, known as Theos Ix Arcanon. With divine assistance, you confronted and defeated Theos, ending your visions and resolving the Hollowborn crisis. In so doing, you also learned the great secret that Theos had protected. That the ancient empire of Anguith had transformed themselves into gods. Your visions finally put to rest, you retired to the castle of Cadnua, built atop a massive statue of pure Audra, where you ruled in relative peace and prosperity.
Made a nice story. You fixing up that old keep, lifting the curse. Must have told it 100 times. But something got to gnawing at me. Thinking the spirits there weren't really at rest. But maybe the gods weren't finished with us. I used to dream that when my god came back, he would forgive us. Last the trouble with dreams. Sooner or later, we all have to wake up.
And so you wake to a sleepless world, the in-between of life and death. Follow your memories. You have been here before.
All right, apparently I can walk around in Smoky Man form. Smoking's not good for you, but what happens when you become like a...
You have seen past the shroud. You are a watcher now, and the watcher you will stay.
Like, what happens when you become like a Marlboro 100 elemental, you know what I mean? Like, at that point, I kind of feel like it's part of your power.
See souls, knows their pasts, and the souls see them back.
Cool. I mean, that was...
Dubious honor, inheriting a fortress both broken and cursed.
Yeah, I forgot our chair talked to us. I totally forgot about that whole thing. You have a sentient chair that talks to you.
Is a god? A higher power? A rewarder of good deeds and punisher of the wicked?
The gods aren't real, but something else entirely. Something created by people.
And did you ever consider that these were things you were never meant to understand? That their comprehension is beyond you?
Let the world see. Let them decide what to do.
It's probably a good time to admit that I never beat the first game.
The wheel has turned again, Watcher. Come.
I always made it out of the first city, I always made it to like level 10 or whatever, where you get out of the first big city, and then once they send you off into the backwoods to hang out with druids and stuff, I couldn't do it. It wasn't my thing. I don't like druid-based storylines. And so like the second I see a bunch of fur-clad dudes with sticks, I'm just like, I don't care about this. It happened. I've got to admit to it at some point during this playthrough.
An aged dwarf shares this strange floating platform with you. His face is creased by so many wrinkles that his features lie buried amid shadowy pockets of skin. Still, the dwarf's well-practiced habits have left telltale tracks of a welcoming rictus across his visage. You can see his smile coming before it blooms, reshaping the dwarf's face from a hanging sack of flesh into something resembling an oddly carved, merry gourd, replete with unhealthy bumps and discolored splotches.
Stay away from me, Shorty Tumor Man. That's his new name, Shorty Tumor Man. What's up, Shorty Tumor Man? How you doing? I'm gonna call him Tumorman. It makes it sound better. It makes it sound a little bit less inflammatory. He's Shorty Tumorman. He handles... Shorty Tumorman. You know, he's an advisor of sorts. He helps me out with my family's business. I don't know.
Please.
I like how she's polite. You realize I'm on fire right now. This chair may not come out of this interaction unscathed.
Thank you for joining us, Watcher of Cadnua.
The gaunt woman seated at the table is clad in time-worn black armor that seems too massive for her to move in. A pale, slender neck rises from the gorget, topped by a hollow face. The milky skin stretched across it is delicate and translucent, like parchment that has been scraped clean too many times.
Is that a thing you could do? I didn't even know that you could scrape parchment. I learned a new thing today. Hooray! My medieval knowledge has gone up.
She's preoccupied with the arrangement of cards on the table between you. With each movement, her armor squeaks and groans as though bearing an incredible weight. She places a final card, gives a nod of satisfaction, and raises her eyes to meet yours.
Your brush with the divine has drained you of your powers, fractured your memories. Look upon these cards. They represent the courses of your life. You alone know best how they flowed. Arrange them to fit what you remember.
Oof, this is going to be rough. Memory is not one of my strong points. It's been a long time since I played Pillars of Eternity 1. I actually tend to prefer that RPGs not be connected. Like, you don't have, like Baldur's Gate 1 and then Baldur's Gate 2. Like, because then you got to remember all the stuff that you did, and then you got to, like, import your character and stuff, or what if you, like, deleted the game? You can't do that anymore. The only game that I really, really liked that was connected like that was Quest for Glory. I love that you could only be a paladin if you imported from, like, the previous game and stuff like that, and it continued all the way up until the later games. The only way you could be a paladin all the way up to like Quest for Glory 5 was if you were a paladin in like Quest for Glory 2 or something like that. Pretty hilarious. Alright, so we are... Select which history took place during the Pillars of Eternity or select Pillars of Eternity endgame save. I don't have an endgame save. It's been a long time since I played it first. In Pillars of Eternity, you returned the hollow Hawkspawn souls to Deerwood's children as you had pledged to Hyleia. You were kind and merciful to the people you encountered and sympathetic to their pain and charitable those who needed help. That's pretty true. I played a good guy. I was a dirty goody two-shoes. In Pillars of Eternity, you returned the lost souls to the wheel as you had pledged to Berath. Most other choices were judicious and balanced, tempered by rational thought and fairness rather than sympathy or an emotion. Survival, I think I did. I'm going to say that I did Benevolent Soul, because that sounds like what I would do. I would do the nice thing.
Does everything appear to be in order?
Yeah, sure, that sounds great. So if you don't know what happened in the first game, essentially, the people rose up, they killed a god because they got salty about something. I don't remember exactly. They made a big weapon that shot him to death, and there was like a big civil war. And then when he died, as a punishment, everybody figured he made all of their children like tabula rasas. They were like these weird little children that didn't cry or breathe or anything. They were just like alive but not alive. Basically, they were like blank vessels. And so you had to go all over the place trying to track down this guy who was like an immortal named Ixthanos or whatever, who was born over and over and over again and was always just like messing with shit. And just like, he was basically the Loki of the universe. Like, he's a human being that gets born over and over and over again, retaining his memories, and he just keeps messing with stuff and making everything worse. You join like a secret agent corps, and then, I don't know, after that, it's all kind of murky.
Good. Welcome to the Beyond. I am Berath. One half, anyway.
She points a finger in the direction of the dwarf who led you here. Though the movement is slight, her gauntlet squeaks like a rusty hinge. The dwarf's rictus returns as he nods in the woman's direction.
What is rictus? Is that like a disease? If you have rictus, don't breathe on me, man. I don't want to catch rictus while I'm here. I'm on fire, and I'm pretty sure that'll purify it, but like, I don't want to take any chances.
Tell me, do you remember when we last met?
No? I don't recall. I remember the Hall of Stars part. That seems about right. I remember going into a big hallway with stars and stuff. Yeah, sure.
She places a card on the table, showing a tall tower with the gods' constellations arrayed around it in the sky. She places a card in the middle of the arrangement, a bell tower with no bell. Her fingertips slowly drag away from the card, faintly creaking as they retreat across the table.
You had need of the gods once before. Now it seems we have need of you. The being that occupied Odnua's statue beneath your castle was the dead god, Aothis. Of this, we are certain. What we do not know is what his intentions are.
No way, that big green guy that was in my basement was a god? Dude, imagine that shit. Somebody rolls out to your house and they're like, yeah, you know that dead guy, like that big statue in your basement that's been there for like 300 years? That's actually a god. And I'd be like, well, it kind of makes sense. My chair talks to me. My castle has all kinds of ghosts walking around. It makes sense. Like, honestly, like, it's just, I don't know, man. Like, everything is weird inside Cadnua. That's why I didn't go back to Cadnua much. It was a weird place and weird stuff happened there. There were trolls in my dungeon. It was a Harry Potter situation that I really didn't want to deal with. So I Leviosa it away.
Though Aothis stole a large fragment of your soul, you were strong enough to survive the onslaught and enter the in-between.
So, like, I'm in the butt cheeks of the universe right now?
You and he are still connected. He has chosen a body made of living Audra, perfused with the power of thousands of souls, including yours. It should be little difficulty for an experienced watcher to find him.
Am I dead right now?
No, but neither is your body truly alive. Your lungs draw breath, your heart pumps blood, but your flesh is as soulless as a hollowborn. That is, until I return you.
She delicately places a card upright on the table. The art depicts souls flowing out of a pillar of Audra.
Well, so I can go with, I'd like to find him as much as you would. He destroyed my castle and killed who knows how many people. I'm done dealing with gods. Why should I care about any of this? You have the resigned, just nihilistic, like, let's just get on with it, which is basically where I would be right now. Like, if I was a hero who saved the world, if you asked me to do it a second time, I don't know if I would say yes. I'd be like, I've kind of done my duty, man. I don't know duty. Anyways, I've done that. Like, I don't know if I need to do this twice. Like, you don't want to, like, don't put all your eggs in one basket. I don't know. Promote another hero from level 1. And it doesn't matter how much you threaten me, I'm not doing this. I wonder what happens if I do that one. Ah, well. He blew up my dope-ass pad. We gotta go fight him.
I know. It is my business to know. 322 in Cadnua and your surrounding lands. Their souls remain in Aethys still. You have the power to save them. Serve me and I will return you to your body. Or don't, and return to the wheel.
What? I could tell her just to kill me right now? Is that one of the endings? I could be like, alright, I choose suicide.
Good.
I mean, I'm talking to a god right now. I don't feel like you really get to say no.
Before you return to Aora as my herald, you must remember who you were, the last whisper of life in death.
For a moment, the sockets of her eyes darken, leaving the pits of a death's head gazing out at you.
When you can picture your own face, the beyond will lead you back to your own kind, to the world of mortals.
Alright. And that's where character creation starts. I knew it. Let's be a dude. Alright, the graphics are a lot better than the first game. The graphics are like holy shit better than the first game. This is like the difference in the graphics between Neverwinter Nights 1 and like Neverwinter Nights 2. It was like, man, I think I was the only person that liked the second Neverwinter Nights game. Everybody else hates that game, but like I like it. I've played it like 50 times. I don't know, I thought it was a good game. It was ahead of the curve though as far as technology the time went. We can be an Amua, which is one of these big blue guys that sails around the ocean and stuff. We can be a dwarf, which, you know, small, angry, lots of alcoholism, facial hair, probably smell terrible, all that kind of stuff. Elves, who are positively the worst beings in existence. We can be a godlike, which, I don't know, man. I don't know if I need that sense of superiority. Humans, we are humans. We get it. You're a human, I'm a human. All of our, we can be evil, good. Orlans, which I think are like little furry cat guys, yeah. Exactly, little furry cat guys. I'm gonna make this real simple. We're gonna be a human. I always pick human because I'm unoriginal and boring. And then we can be a meadow folk. We get might and resolve. We can be ocean folk. We get might and resolve. Or wait, what do we get? Hold on. I thought that was changing each time. It's not changing each time. So we get the fighting spirit. All folk have an indomitable spirit that rises to the challenge when things look grim. Whenever a folk is below bloodied or near death, they gain a bonus to accuracy and damage. Yeah, but we're already getting whooped. That doesn't even matter. You're probably going to get critted right after that, die instantly. I don't like abilities that trigger when I'm at low health. Fighting spirit. Do they all get that? Oh, it doesn't matter? There's no difference between any of these three? Oh. Well, shit. We can be savannah folk. We can be ocean folk. Or we can be meadow folk. Doesn't it make sense that we'd be meadow folk because we were already from Deerwood? I don't know. I'll be savannah folk. I don't even care. We're going to be savannah folk. That's what we're going to do here today. We're going to savannah folk it up. Would you like to make a single class or a multi-class character? Single class. I'm a purist. We can be a barbarian, pretty simple stuff. We can be a chanter, which is kind of like a guy that sings songs, and once you accumulate enough bars, you can do super moves. You can be a cipher, which I remember them not being that great in the first game. You can be a druid, which you know what a druid is if you play D&D, a fighter, simple. Monk, pretty simple as well. A paladin, which is my go-to. We can be a priest, which would be pretty dope. We can be a ranger, a rogue, or a wizard. I'm going with priest. We're going to go with priest. It's like a paladin plus. It's like a paladin with actual uses. I gotta look at the ability tree. What's on the ability tree? Oh, we're gonna start at like level 900, aren't we? Yeah, this is gonna be like one of those Neverwinter Nights things. Or do we start from level 1, I wonder? Man, I wonder if we lose all of our powers when we get our soul sucked out. Now we can choose what god a subclass selection. So we can be a priest of Berath, the god of death, doors, and reincarnation. So we get like plagues, terror, skulls, all that kind of stuff. Kind of a death priest. We can be Aethys, which is kind of your standard priest, light, fire, worship, all that stuff. Magron, which is all fire all day long. And we can be Skane, which is the quiet slave of secret hatred, I guess. Or we can be the god of Wales. Boo! Or I don't know if we're like the god of Wales, like Welsh people just really like us. One or the other, but either way. Apparently Whale is the god of dreams and secrets and stuff. I'm going with Aethys. Let's go with Aethys right now. So our abilities, we get to pick one. We have Barbs of Condemnation. We've got Blessing. We've got Halt. That might be good. Halt might be a good one to have. Holy Power. I can get Divine Favor around the caster. We have Interdiction. We can daze some foes right there. We got Restoration. Yeah, having a heal as a priest seems like a good idea. Like, how are you going to be a priest and not have heals? You know what I mean? Like, I don't know. It seems like something that would be messed up. So we can be quick-witted or brilliant if we have like 20. That's probably a good idea. It makes our AoEs larger. We have resolve, which makes our hostile effects last less against us. We get better deflection and better will. That's probably a good thing to have. I'll probably take might up to like there. That sounds all right. It makes our healing better? Well, shit. And we've got dexterity. It gives us better action speed, which means we cast faster, which is probably a good idea. That seems like something we would probably want to have. I don't know, like, we can be average and stuff. There's no, like, charisma skill in this. I usually max out charisma when I play games like this. Do I get to pick what I look like pretty soon? Oh, yeah, I do get to customize down there. With one more point left, I don't know what I want to do. Like, action speed is definitely good, so I'll probably just take the action speed, although I tend to min-max a lot when I play games like this. Like, I'll ball out on intellect and resolve, and then I'll, like, tank something else, and I'll have, like, dump stats. We'll go with something average, though, right now. Where are you from? A deer. I definitely didn't come from a deer. I came from a woman. Ixamedal Plains. What do these give us? They give us dexterity and stuff? Oh. I'm going to go the one that makes me smarter, so I guess we'll go with Old Valia. So there it is. We're from Old Valia. Time to get smarter. And then what was our job? We were an aristocrat. We could be an artist. Each of these give us skills that we use in conversation and whatnot. I'll probably go with something like, oh, I don't know, a drifter. I don't think I want to be a drifter. We can be a laborer, a mercenary. I kind of wanted to go with stuff that gave me, we could be a merchant. We were streetwise, we have bluff, we have diplomacy. I do like people that are very good at talking. I tend to prefer things that have a lot of diplomacy. I'll go with merchant. We'll go with merchant. That sounds good. And then we've got weapon types that we can take right now. I don't know. Like, I don't think my character is built for frontline combat. I'll be honest with you. I had some bad luck with that in the first game where, like, characters that were going to be up in the shit definitely needed to be kind of badass. Otherwise, they didn't make it. So I can take, like, shields. And I could take flails. That would make us very battle priesty. Or we could go with guns. We could just have gats. We could bust on people hella hard. Just bow. Bow, 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 bow. Take them out. I'll probably go with warhammers or something. Are there hammers in here anywhere? They have maces. That's close enough. I'll go with a mace and shield. That sounds good. I'm a classical priest guy. Dude, some of these right here have been around since like Baldur's Gate days. Haven't they? I mean, they look very Baldur's Gatey to me. I don't know what my guy's going to look like, so I would actually prefer to pick this afterwards. So I can pick my colors. Our primary could be white. Our secondary is going to be like gold, make us look good. Yeah, that's what I'm talking about. White and gold. That's a good color. That's a good color combo for a priest, all right? We got our skin color right there. I'm actually happy with the skin color. I'll take that. Happy with the hair color, too. We got different faces. That guy's a little roughed up. He looks like he's had adventures. I'm going to go with him. And as far as hair is concerned, I'm not trying to do anything emo right now. I'll probably go with something that's got a little bit of grit to it. Something's got a, yeah, we need to have a beard. Like, we have to have a beard, like a puffy beard. There we go. We're going to have, like, a dope beard because we're like an old man right now that's just, like, salty about being kicked out his castle. We're going to have, like, a mohawk right there. I do like mohawks. Mohawks are pretty sick. I'm tempted. I'm very tempted just to take the mohawk. Not the less hawk, the mohawk.
Let's go. Yeah. Shh. Sharp eyes. I shall lead us.
Attack, the better part of valor.
No prisoners. Let's go. Steady does it.
I'm going to go with the stoic voice. It sounds the best to me. I like to have like a deep, bassy voice. We can be average. We can be heroic. We can be kind of hunched over. Oh, we can be kind of like rat-like. Gotcha. Roguish is good. Sassy's good too, man. Throw that hip out there. I'm going to go with stoic. Sullen seems like he's been grumpy all the time. Yeah, let's not do that. I don't want to be grumpy. I'm not down with grumpiness. And then I got to pick. Now that I've customized my dude, I can pick my picture. I can pick what I look like. It's got to match, though. If it doesn't match, I get salty. It has to match. You know what? I'm just going to wear a helmet, so I'll probably put on a helmet or something. There we go. We'll put on a helmet. Perfect. Done. His name is going to be... Oh, I don't know. We'll name him Beetlebob Battlebrook. There we go. No, not Battlebrew. Battlebach. There we go. Beetlebob Battlebach. Got him. Took care of it. Our power source comes from our faith. Okay, well, my intellect is pretty good. My ability duration's looking pretty solid. Action speed, I think, was the most important one because it makes you cast faster. I think they kept the same kind of rig from the previous game.
Go forth now, Watcher, as my herald. Know that I do not give you this title lightly. When the time comes, you will have the power to reveal the souls that cling to you, to open the gateway from the in-between. to the waking world. Find Aethys. Learn his plans. When I have cause to talk to you, I will summon you.
With a quick gesture of her hand, you feel a sharp pain in what would be your chest. The pain continues, intruding deeper into your soul. Looking down, you see a small lump of darkness roiling within you. The darkness lingers there, but the pain abates and fades entirely within the span of a few seconds.
I imagine that felt like, you guys ever get that thing where you take a deep breath and like for some reason your chest hurts like hella bad, like the muscles in between your ribs or something are freaking out? I don't know, man. I got that pain since I was a little kid. Every now and again where you like take a deep breath, it's like, ah, it feels like you got knifed. I bet it felt like that.
A chime. Do not fear, Herald. It will not harm you unless you choose to cross me. I trust it will not come to that.
Her gauntleted hand gestures to the dwarf, hovering nearby. The dwarf nods, contorts his face with his odd smile, and gestures to a new door.
Alright, I guess I'm still a smoke monster, kinda. I suppose I can live with my smoke monster ways. Can I run? I suppose it's not polite to run out of the room, but I tend to run from situations like this. Man, the graphics are way better than the previous game. They look way better, but then again, they've had like Torment and Tyranny and all those games to kind of sharpen their blades, I guess. I think Tyranny was my favorite one out of all of those, because it's like the only RPG in a long time that wasn't hella stereotypical. Like, you're not like some random guy with a secret power that nobody else has, and only you can solve the problem that the world is having. I like Tyranny because it was more realistic. You were just like a dude with a spear, and you were conquering the world. And you could be an asshole, or you could be a good guy, and it didn't really matter.
The return to your body feels like waking after a fitful drunken sleep. The rocking of the ship sends pain jolting through your limbs. Crashing waves hammer inside your skull. Adair watches over your body with a glazed look, taking long, even tokes from his pipe. At the first movement of your chest, he starts. His gasp, mid-puff, sends him coughing and straining for breath.
No, there's no way. You're awake. What are you doing awake? How are you feeling?
Apparently, I don't have the requirements for a lot of this stuff. This is Adair. He's your smoking homeboy from the first game. Apparently, he's wearing trash tier loot right now again because we got to start over from scratch. And my Adair had some pretty dope gear when I was playing back in the day, all right? He had some pretty dope shit.
Sure. You've been at it a long time.
I hate to cast a pall over your recovery, but I'm afraid I have some bad news for you.
Am I inside of a ship right now? I feel like I'm inside of a ship.
The voice echoes from inside the bust. The remains of the steward of Cad Nua.
Cad Nua has been destroyed. Aethys possessed the statue of Maros Nua and rose from the ground, consuming the souls of all nearby. It is only by the exceptional strength of your soul that you survived. And even then, just barely. The further Aethys withdrew, the weaker you became. We chartered this ship and followed him to the Deadfire archipelago. I know not how, but it seems he has retained a piece of your soul, and proximity to it has brought you back.
How could you know all that? You've been faking on us.
He pokes at your shoulder with one finger.
Misfortune's brewing topside. Migrants fires, the captain stirs.
An older man with ale-sour breath rubs his bloodshot eyes and stares at you.
Engrim, the smell of drink on your breath could wake the very dead. Now what's this about?
Pirates. They're demanding parley with you, Captain.
I know this is asking a lot, but you better arm yourself and get on deck. Should be some gear in there.
He indicates a nearby wardrobe.
Hey man, it's pirate code. We have to go talk to him. He said he wants to parlay. We gotta do what we gotta do. Hey. Let me get that loot.
All right, now make some use of it.
Oh, we're gonna be good. Don't even worry about that. We gonna get this done. Yep, let me put on my chainmail right now, although I get the feeling that my gear is not nearly as dope as it was at the end of the first game. Or at least wherever I was in the first game. Oh, there's the main hand right there. Just equip the damn thing. There you go. Perfect. Exactly. That's what I was going for. It worked. Huzzah!
Of Deadfire are notorious. I suggest you deal with them quickly.
Oh, we're gonna deal. We're gonna deal. These cats are gonna have a rough time. We gotta get some combat in. It's been like 40 minutes of talking, and I have murdered nobody. Normally by this point in the episode, I've murdered like at least 5 somebodies.
Well, what have we here? A little sloop? Lost and alone in the storm?
A surly, brutish-looking man stands stiff-backed in front of his crew. He scowls as he assesses you, his hair whipping about his ears in the wind.
I'll be taking your ship now, if you don't mind. And especially if you do.
Well, at least he asked.
I am a gentleman of fortune.
The captain shrugs in the sheeting rain before pinning you with a low, murderous grin.
Give her up easy, and I'll see you get a swift death. It'll be bloody and agonizing, sure. But at least it'll be quick.
Ah, middle finger. Edier smiles like he's just seen an old friend. You're damn right I have. This is how we do right here. We go, bow! We fit him with those fingers. We bang on him.
Sometimes I like to wiggle the finger like it's tickling.
Oh, I like your spirit.
He laughs long and loud over the din of the howling rain. Then he sobers instantly. His face is a mask of rage.
But that won't spare you none.
Now he's going to say something stereotypical like a bad guy, like, "Get 'em, boys!" And then we're going to fight.
Listen up, mates. I'm off to spear me a bigger fish. One with sharper teeth like. I'm trusting you lot not to cock this up. Don't damage the sloop when you take it. Play with the crew if you'd like, but don't bring me any prisoners. None that are alive.
You had bandwidth!
All right, well, here we go. Who's on my team right now? Who's in my squad? Who's in my skiggity squad? I'm going to fight this dude right now, please believe. There's about to be a beatdown up in here. Edier, are you a part of my team, or am I just by myself right now? Oh, I'm by myself right now. Run away! Yeah, I was going to say, are you guys going to jump in on this at any point? I'm just saying, it'd probably be nice if y'all jumped in at some point. Like, I'm over here getting run up on. I'm getting shot with bullets and stuff. Out here living that rough life. Ooh, this game's bloodier than the first one. Oh, you're flanked! I got that ass. Please believe. Why are you not attacking right now? There you go. I believe in you. You can do this. You shot my favorite crewmate. She was my favorite one. That was Ruth. She had a family, you rat.
Storm's picking up. Take cover.
Can I loot first? You've defeated the pirates, but you're not out of trouble yet. The storm picks up, lashing your ship and driving you dangerously close to a rocky shore. The Defiant's crew hurries to reduce sail and batten down the hatches. They work quickly, but the ship is listing heavily. Just then, a loose crate tumbles towards you, gathering speed on the rain-slicked deck. It misses you, but knocks Chitupek, one of your deckhands, off of his feet. The Defiant heaves. Chitupek pitches over the side, and he grabs onto the rail, but his fingers are slipping. He cries out for help. Meanwhile, the runaway crate totters on the edge of the deck, ready to plunge overboard. You recognize the symbol on the font and realize it contains the salvage from Cadnua, your keep. Well, you know, I'm a good guy, and I gotta do the good guy stuff, so I'm gonna rescue this dude. You grab Chitupek's arm just as his grip fails. For a tense moment, he hangs suspended over the roiling sea. Then, with a mighty tug, you pull him back up onto the deck. You hear a heavy splash. The crate is gone. Chitupek, meanwhile, nods in gratitude and hurries to his station. You better be worth more than a crate to me, fool. Meanwhile, the storm has nearly driven you ashore. A flash of lightning reveals a treacherous coastline and Aethys striding into the distance. The lookout barely has time to shout a warning before the Defiant runs aground. The impact hurls you from the deck and into a froth of waves, bodies, and splintering debris. You struggle towards the beach ahead, even as the surf tugs you towards the open sea. You kick and paddle with all your might until at last you feel sand between your fingers. Pulling yourself ashore, you collapse. Why are we always passed out on a beach at the beginning of RPGs, man? We are always passed out on a beach. Every single time. You're always passed out on a beach. Always. That's how you start every RPG. It's how you started in, what was the name of that other game? Divinity? You're always knocked out on a beach. It's how you start out in pretty much every RPG ever. You're always unconscious on a beach. Always. What is it about beaches?
You've been getting a lot of sleep so far on this trip. I'd awoke you, but you look so peaceful with your face in the sand.
Adir runs his fingers through his hair and removes a strand of seaweed he finds lodged there. He examines it closely and then tosses it into the sand.
If you're worried about the ship, you can stop worrying. It's wrecked right over there.
He points out at the Defiant, despite being difficult to miss from your vantage point.
So far, it's just you and me and the chair lady over there.
He nods towards something further up the beach.
It's a relief to see you awake, my lord. I worried you were in for another long sleep.
I hate boats.
Shh. It's right behind you.
Unfortunately, I believe we'll be needing the Defiant yet. Unless you mean to settle down on the island for good.
Oh, there's a thought.
All right, let's get going.
Let's see about the other survivors. And somehow we gotta get the ship repaired. I don't want to be paddling out of here on a salvage raft.
For now, I'd say your best bet is to find some sign of civilization. If nothing else, we may be able to hire on a shipwright. My lord, if it is not too taxing, could you explain how it came to pass that you were returned to us?
Yeah, pretty much my soul went to the beyond and Berath gave me a choice to find Aethys or die.
These gods. You make one deal with them to stop a madman, and the next thing you know, they're threatening your soul.
That isn't much of a choice. But castle or no castle, you are still my lord, and I will aid you to the best of my ability.
Well, I suppose we better get a move on.
All right, let's ride, homie. So we've got Adir. I can choose a single class or a multi-class for him. I remember him being pretty gangster as just a fighter in the first game, so I'm going to keep him pure too. I am not a fan of multi-class characters in D&D. Yeah. Like, they're always either they're super munchkin-y or they're just completely ineffective, and I don't like it, man. Be one class, bro. Right. Just be one class. My name is Splattercat. This is Pillars of Eternity 2. You can get the game down below in the description if you wanted to get it for yourself. I am happy to have you here today. We played the first game on the channel for a little while, and now it's time to play the second for a little while. Hopefully you all like it. Let me know down below in the comments, and also leave a like on this video if you enjoyed it. And other than that, I got much else to say. Hi to everybody, and I'll see you next time. Bye.